What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 173 of Ghost in the Night, a paranormal and true crime podcast. I am Phil, and as always, the wonderful, the punctual Travis is sitting to my left.
Hey, be nice to me.
Hey, they were trying to roast you a little bit in the comments. I said, no, we have to cut them some slack. I was interacting with our listeners before you got here.
Our loyal listeners.
The ones we love the most. But I said, no, he's been put in a crap ton of hours. We need to cut Travis some slack. But we are live on YouTube. As always, for those of you checking out the podcast on your favorite audio feed, we do these live on our YouTube channel. So if you want to join the party, take part in the shenanigans, and interact with our very wonderful and educated listeners and viewers, join us over at Ghost in the Night on our YouTube channel. And you can see a little bit see how the magic is made here at Ghost in the Night. But tonight we have a very special episode. We haven't really done a lot of paranormal stuff here lately, so we wanted to do something for you guys. We are talking the Bell Witch out of Tennessee, which is a famous, maybe the most famous haunting in U.S. history. It
had Andrew Jackson involved in it. Peaked hard right there.
We will get into it. But yes, this has been, and it still goes on to this day to a certain extent. There is still things going on there, and this has been covered by everybody. Ghost Adventures has been there, done an episode on the Bell Witch, but that is what we're going to get into for this lovely.
The well bitch is happening.
Yes, that for this episode. So, what do you want to rant about? Travis has some good rants. We're going to let him rant.
Daylight savings time is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it kind of screwed my schedule today.
Like, who the fuck came up with that goddamn stupid idea?
Ben Franklin?
Fuck Ben Franklin.
Don't quote me on that. I think one of those guys came up with it.
That piece of shit, party in the back, ball in the front, haircut looking fuck.
Tyler, there will be no celebration juice for us this evening.
No, we both had enough of that last night.
Phil did not feel very well.
I thought I was just really tired, and then like an hour after I got to work, I was like, "Oh no, I'm hungover."
Yeah, I was a little hungover today.
Yeah,
my tummy has been queasy all day, so we partook, and I didn't even leave when you left. I stuck around.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what time I left.
For another hour or so.
Yeah, I don't even know when I left.
Yes, so I'm pretty sure I didn't get any dirty messages, so I'm pretty sure I paid my bill.
I did the same. Like when I walked in there, I walked behind the bar to see if my bill was, it was taped to the fucking thing. And then I thought about it. I was like, I guess I could have just checked my fucking bank account. Now I just have to figure out if I tipped.
Yeah. So it was an interesting evening. We have not had that experience in a while. We've kind of been on our best behavior, but we probably overdid it. So therefore, there will be no celebratory drinks this evening in this podcast because I'm not feeling well even right now.
Yes.
I'm going to power through because I love you guys anyway. So we covered daylight saving time sucks balls. Now we're going to get into the Bell Witch. You ready?
Fuck farmers. Fuck farmers and their daylight savings time.
Boom, 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 boom.
Do indoor grows like fucking weed farmers.
Yeah. All right. So the Bell Witch. The Bell Witch just might be the U.S.'s craziest and creepiest haunting. It starts with a family called the Bells. John and Lucy were from North Carolina, and they decided to pack their bags and move to Adams, Tennessee in the early 1800s. At this time, they had four. Now, the children, they had 4 kids at this time. Now, I've seen a couple different children numbers. I'm going with 6 total by the time it's all said and done, but I've heard as high as 8.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay,
I don't, who knows when we're talking shit that happened 200 years ago, but at this time they had 4 kids when they made the move to Adams, Tennessee. The Red River area.
This wouldn't have happened if they would have moved to Johnson City.
Yeah, which Adams, Tennessee is about, I believe, 40 miles northeast of Nashville. I believe. Somewhere in central, well, not even central, but east.
So at the time we're talking about, it was 4.5 days away.
Yes. But they had, like I said, at this time of the move, they had 4 children. They had Jesse, John Jr., Drury, which what kind of fucking name is Drury?
I wake up in the morning, I put on my jewelry.
And another son by the name of Benjamin. Now, after the move...
Yeah, where the fuck does Drury fit in there?
Yeah, I don't know.
They loved him less.
Probably. But after they moved...
He was a weird one. He couldn't plow dirt. He just wanted to play Fortnite.
Probably. After they moved, they added to the family. I'm going to say 2 more. I've heard as many as 4 more. But I'm going to say 2. And
Hurricane.
And that is Betsy and Richard. Now, John was a very successful planter, farmer, whatever you want to call him, and he had plenty of money. He was well off. He was very wealthy for that time, even before the move to Tennessee. So why did he move to Tennessee? That's kind of a question. But all was good on the farm for a few years with no paranormal activity going on in this new farm.
Do you think when they woke up in the morning, the dad just like... We are farmers, and then from everyone, bum, ba, dum, 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 dum.
Now we have farmers sponsor us. No,
yes. Or Allstate. I like to be in good hands.
Sexual connotation. Hold on.
Oh no, at least it's not like a completely necessary thing.
Oh shit. Oh well, we can still see it over there. Where was I at? But like I said, things were a little calm at the old farm in the beginning. Not too much paranormal activity being happening. But however, in around 1817, so this is a pretty good stretch of time.
It's really bothering you, huh?
There it is. Pretty good stretch of time. It's kind of distracting me when monitors go out.
Can you not? Well, you probably can't on that TV.
What?
I'm going to do screencast, but I doubt that TV has that.
No. But
screencast.
Apparently in 1817,
the year of our Lord,
people started, or some of the family members started to experience some stuff.
J.G. Wentworth.
Yes.
877 cash now.
Yes.
I have a structured settlement, but I need cash now.
We were just doing all kinds of ads for people.
444 444 Call Blake Maisland now. This is the most fucking annoying commercial that fucking works. Everybody in the tri-state area knows that man's name and knows his phone number.
Yes.
I still remember fucking the Rose's phone number from back in the day, the old commercials. You remember 347-1111 tastes so good. You want it bad. No. The Rose's.
I don't remember that, but that's okay. So
pizza.
1817, things started going off the rails a little bit for the Bell family. Now it started off small. It wasn't.
I know all about that.
It didn't just go.
The Bell Witch was a grower, not a shower.
It didn't go from 0 to 100 in 2.2 seconds. It didn't go from 0 to Carrie Ann.
It did not live its life a quarter mile at a time.
No, it was not Fast and Furious.
It was not gone in 60 seconds.
The Bell Witch, she was a lover. She did a lot of foreplay. What the hell was that noise? Hopefully that was you.
I think it was the desk.
Some things need to be said about the farm. As always, the land that made up the Bell Farm was rich in Native American history. It even was reported that it had a burial ground attached to it, which does come up later on in the story. Excuse me. Haunted activity started pretty small, like I said. Family members started seeing weird animals.
Chupacabras.
Yeah.
Mothmans.
One time, John Sr. Actually said he saw a strange-looking dog, pretty good-sized dog, but he stated that the dog had the head of a rabbit.
A dabbit?
Yeah.
A rog.
So basically what he saw was a large basset hound just with a deformed short nose. Long,
yeah, I'm trying to think of how that could be. It could be that. Have you seen that one dog that's going around? I don't know what species or what breed it is, but it has no nose.
Has a what?
Has no nose.
Well,
it's weird looking. It's it's one of those weird, cute weird things. He's the happiest dog in the world, and he has no nose. It's just like Like, it's like he should have a muzzle, but he looks like a pug, but not really.
Right. But this is how it started out.
I wonder if it's like a cleft palate. I just had that thought.
Maybe
That's what a cleft palate looks like on the certain breeds of dogs.
I don't know a lot.
It is the like saddest, cutest thing ever.
I do not know a lot about the veterinarian sciences.
Venereal.
Don't know a lot about that either. But that's okay.
The penises and the vaginuses.
Right. So they started seeing cryptids. I'm ignoring that comment. I'm just ignoring it. But they started seeing cryptids.
How does it smell? We have a comment asking how it smells. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to assume I know what you're talking about. Shrimp and vinegar.
No, I think he's referring to if a dog doesn't have a nose, how does it smell?
Through its butt. Like how frogs breathe.
Is that real? Are you pulling our legs?
Actually, frogs breathe through most frogs breathe through their skin, I think.
Are you sure
but
about
I think
that?
There is something that breathes through its butt. I can't remember what it is. It's probably something insane, too, like a fucking penguin.
So, but anyway, this begs the question. What were these cryptids or these strange, weird animals? Were they there protecting the burial ground? Or were they summoned by the, ancient Native Americans to protect, kind of like a devil's hound
skinwalkers?
Maybe.
Was this the OG Skinwalker Ranch?
The Eastern Skinwalker Ranch? Maybe. We could be onto something.
The Foreskin Walker Ranch.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe that was just a fucking... they said it was a good-sized dog, not a good size for a rabbit. I was going to say maybe it's just one of those fucking giant hares that they have. I don't know if it's in the UK or what, but they're fucking pretty big.
Right.
They're bigger than Chalupa. Well, I guess Chalupa would be a small, normal rabbit.
She's an oversized rat. She's a rat with long legs. Personally.
You fuck.
I thought I was going to... I don't know if I told this the other day when we were live, or I might have told you. I thought I was going to have to kill a cat.
Yeah.
I let Chalupa out.
Mm-hmm.
I go out with her, but I'll either stand at the door. So I was standing at the door, and she went out, and a cat started lurking, started prowling up to the fence. I had to get out there and... I will kill you and not think twice about it. I will tie you. I will put a firecracker up your ass. I will get PETA all pissed off at me. But is it wrong if I'm protecting my dog?
No.
Is that animal cruelty if I kill a cat because it's trying to attack my dog?
No.
Self-defense. Well, not self.
I guess it's just defense.
Defense of my beloved Chalupa. I don't know. So, for any of you cat lovers, I'm sorry if I offended you, but don't really give a shit. You attacks my dog, I'm going to kill it.
Or at least kick it.
He's good.
Go!
All right. Now, at this point, it was nothing super crazy. Seeing strange animals in the woods is not that big of a deal. It isn't proof of any haunting. Let's be honest, because in the woods... people get a little, especially at nighttime or when it's getting dark, people get a little freaked out.
Yeah. And you get a turny-roundy.
And there are many reasons why people can see strange things in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they get freaked out and their mind and eyes start playing tricks on them. So this is not proof of anything. It's interesting, but it gets the ball rolling.
I wonder if there was any involvement of, the fuck was that shit called? The Salem witch trials. The
rye.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
I can't remember what that was called, but
Ergot.
Yeah. Yes. I wonder if that might have had played a role in this. Wonder what they were farming.
I think it was tobacco, but it could have been a little wacky tobacco as well. I don't know.
Heron.
I don't know.
They were puppy farmers.
Now, as in always,
it's
my world. I will speak however I like. I don't give a fuck. I'm not a history. So
it is written, so it shall be fuck you'd.
Activity started to ramp up at this point. It starts out small and just keeps growing. It
makes me think of all the videos that are coming out right now of like people on their dirt bikes, and it's that guy the audio as the audio. He's like, I woke up this morning, and all I could hear outside my window was what I would have to say is the sound of somebody getting it, just with that brap brap that din 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 din. It's pretty funny.
I mean, YouTube's awesome.
He said the only way I could describe it is somebody getting it.
There are a lot of interesting videos on TikTok and YouTube Shorts.
I know. I have I need to get on sync with Better Half and have her put like the better quality.
I have some saved, paranormal wise, on my phone. That's like, oh fuck it, we'll go off script here real quick.
Sidebar.
There's that one where it says it's like a weird. Matter of fact, I can probably play it. I have one saved where you can hear. Mm-hmm. You see two words and it says you will hear whatever you're looking at.
Yeah. And
it fucking works. I've looked at both.
Oh yeah, I've said that.
There has to be a reason for it.
We've said that for years with fucking like Ghost Adventures and shit. That's why I tell everybody if you're gonna watch that show, don't read the fucking.
I saved it. I should have put it in
captions that they put up on EVPs and shit.
I should have put it up in the. Here it is.
Okay, again.
Okay, now we'll play it again and look at the other one and see. Oh shit! There we go. Oh shit! Where am I? You will only hear the word you are reading. Okay, wait a minute. I just figured something out. I think I know. Because first time.
That was pretty cool because those are two completely opposite words.
The first time you heard Green Needle, right? Mm-hmm. Second time you heard Brainstorm. I heard the exact same thing, and it was facing you, so I wasn't reading anything. I wonder if it's programmed that way because people will generally read from left to right. We will start the left, and naturally we're going to, when we say, "Oh shit, I heard," you look at the.
Well, and Green Needle was in green, and right. Brainstorm or whatever the fuck was in red, and green is a brighter color.
Now let's play it again, and let's focus. I'm going to think of.
I'm just going to look at the TV.
I'm going to think of the one on shit. Where am I at? Oh, damn it. Okay.
We'll just shout out the TikToker.
I don't know her name right offhand.
It should be on that screen. They do a watermark.
Yeah, I can't read it.
Let me see.
It's too small.
Orange Shorts Gang. She works at Hooters.
Yes. Well-deserved
TikTok
job.
at Orange Shorts Gang.
Well-deserved job at Hooters. Okay.
Hey, I got nothing bad to say about those.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't know what it said. It sounded more like Brainstorm that time.
Yes, it did. Okay, so maybe that's wrong, but I don't know.
Because I was reading the Lakota on your hoodie as they said it, and I didn't hear Lakota.
Huh. But maybe there's something to that because, everybody looks to the left, so you're automatically going to hit Green Needle, and then naturally when you hear, you're going to try the other one.
Well, the left is closer to God, as we all know.
Yes. Let me take this down and go back to...
what was it? It was like... Or no, the left hand was the pure hand, blah, 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 because you wiped with the right. I think that's how it is in Muslim culture.
Really?
I think so.
Was not aware of that. See, you learn something new here at Ghost of the Night every day.
Well, then I think the left side is like the left hand is supposed to be the more godly one anyway. For some reason, I remember seeing that on some show. This girl like had to touch the left side of everything. She had OCD, and she was like, "If I don't touch the left side of the doorway when I leave the bathroom after my shower, the devil will butt fuck me into submission."
Sounds like a fucking party, baby.
That's pretty much how she looked at life. I was like, Jesus, you got to get out of the house.
All right, enough TikTok.
You need like some Valium and some fucking poppers or something.
All right, let's get back to the Bell witchery. The activity started to ramp up with a quickness for the Bell family. The ghostly activity started small, like we said, just family members started being woke up in the middle of the night by what appeared to be tapping noises coming from the outside.
Just tap it.
No,
tap it in.
This is not super strange.
Give it a taparoo.
Animals do. We hear that shit here.
Yeah.
In fact, I haven't heard any tonight, but there are such thing as squirrels and stuff that will crawl around on a house.
Squirrels are real?
Yes, they're not a cryptid.
That explains
they
a
are
lot.
the butt plugs for Bigfoot. So this can be explained rather easily, but however, upon investigating, there was no signs of animals when they would go out. I guess John would wake up and he would venture out and kind of see what was going on. Now, they said it was light tapping noises, so it wasn't like Bigfoot was banging on the door saying, "Let me in." So, or it wasn't a bear. So obviously it was some kind of nocturnal rodent that was, creeping around, which makes sense. Or it was the Bell Witch.
Mm-hmm. It could have been many things.
But from here, the activity started to escalate. Whatever was making those noises outside eventually moved to the inside of the home, and noises were much closer, and they could hear them a little bit more frequently. Many family members started describing noises like an animal was gnawing on the legs of the bed, but no scratches were ever found. So that's kind of weird. But it could also be explained, if a mouse or something gets in the walls, you will hear that type of noise. And it might sound like it's coming from the bed, or maybe it was under the floorboard. So there are explanations for it.
Or maybe it was so boring and fucking quiet because of what year it was that they could just hear their leg hair growing.
Right. Now, I mean, this is a little bit more... This is when something a noise like this happens, it can freak some people out a little bit.
Right.
Which, so I'm not going
Well, especially back then when everything is the fucking devil and shit anyway.
Right.
Like everything's fucking scary when you don't understand it. I mean, Jesus Christ, we're talking about people that didn't know where the fucking sun went at night. Like, of course they were scared of everything.
This is true. I guess. I'm sure they actually by 1817 they kind of didn't really have that shit figured out.
I would hope.
Now, like I said, things continually just increased and got a little bit more severe as time went on. Betsy was the first member. Now, remember, Betsy was the one of the youngest of the bunch, so she was a little.
Bessie.
Betsy was a little girl, or not a little
Betsy
girl.
or Bessie.
Betsy. I think her name was Elizabeth, but they called her Betsy. Don't ask me why.
Elizabethsy.
I guess maybe.
I like that better.
She was the first.
Change it.
She was the first member of the family to report being physically touched or attacked by the entity / spirit.
Slash her dad.
We can get to. When we get to the part of giving our opinions at the end of this, we will kind of talk about this a little bit. I think. Some unseen spirit pretty much just bitch slapped Betsy in the middle of the night. Just smack. Which, this can freak somebody out.
You think? I'm pretty sure that'll freak anybody out.
I've had it done to me. Matter of fact, there's a video on the YouTube channel.
I can't say I've ever been smacked in my sleep, no.
It wasn't like a hard slap. It wasn't like I experienced this on an investigation. It was a little, it felt like pressure to me. And, my face got hot.
I don't know if I'm dead asleep and I feel and a ghost slaps me, I'm just shooting up out of that bed, Daddy.
But the worst part about it, really, for me, I got nauseous from it.
Maybe you just farted and it just really got after it.
It was on video. Like I said, there's a video on it. I forget the name of the video. I posted it.
I need to see. They need to, like, all paranormal investigators need to come together and make like a compilation of every time somebody catches their own fart on camera.
Now, I have caught EVPs.
Of farts?
Actually, a funny story. We were going through some EVPs one time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was maybe my first investigation official investigation I ever went on. This is a funny story. And we're going over it, and we're playing them. He said, "Oh, there's one." I was like, "Yeah, sure it is." I knew what it was because it was my recorder. It was my stomach growling. I let him go for it. I said, "I think that was my stomach growling." It was speaking to me. It was telling me it was hungry.
Yeah, I would have just rolled with it. Be like, I'm not going to steal this moment from you.
Yeah. Now, at this point, the activity at the Bell home got even more scary, more creepy. It escalated even further. Actually, it even became a little bit more sinister.
Good movie.
the noises went from tapping and scratching to the stereotypical moaning, groaning, and even a little bit of growling,
Hot.
which are very common in most haunted house stories. It didn't stop there. The sounds of chains being dragged across the floor started to be heard.
So it's the ghost of Christmas past.
No, apparently the bells were in the middle of a fucking Scooby-Doo fucking cartoon. Wasn't that one of the chains? One of the good.
I mean, chains tend to rear their nasty head
I
in
would
a
have
lot
got
of
away.
shit like this.
I would have got away with it. Wasn't for you meddling bell kids.
I know all I could hear. I wish I could do like the oral version of it. That sound that they play when like they're trying to run away. What? Whoa!
Holy shit! Let me try something here.
We're definitely haunted now. I was gonna say maybe put something underneath it so it's not like
I don't know.
pulling. You know what I'm saying?
I just hope that I don't think they saw that on the.
Be cool if they did.
All right.
That was the ghost.
Now, the physical activity that was happening to the bells even started to go even further. People also started to have their covers and pillows ripped from the bed while they were in them.
I've had that happen.
Right. While they slept. Now, this would be... this is even more unsettling.
It's usually my significant other, though. Sometimes she blows me away. There's times where like we'll go to bed and she has like we have the one blanket, the big one, my blanket, and then she has a second blanket that is smaller that she also uses because she's cold. And then I will wake up at like 4:00 in the morning, and she will have all of the big blanket, and I will only have the little blanket that was exclusively on her when we went to sleep.
I don't have this problem.
Yeah,
I
Chalupa.
Chalupa does. She won't even get under the covers anymore. Probably because she learned that lesson.
She get fucking Dutch ovened.
Yep.
Oh man, that's my favorite. I know I feel bad, but it's my favorite when I'm in bed and I think she's asleep and like I'll fart and try to sneak one off, and I'll be like, oh man, and I think she's asleep, and from the darkness I just hear, that one was bad.
That wasn't a good one.
That's more scary than hearing a haunting. Hearing your significant other comment on how bad your fart is in the middle of the night, that something bad's happening. A ghost might not kill you.
That is true. Significant other could smother you in your sleep.
Oh, very easily.
Yes. So this is when covers get ripped off you or the pillows thrown on the floor or whatever. This is very unsettling. I know from firsthand experience. I legitimately had this happen to me in the home I lived in 2 homes ago. I had some weird shit happen when I go to bed. I've talked about the story where I got pulled over, laying on my side.
I can't pull over any further.
I was laying on my side and something ripped me to my back. That door would open and close all the time. So this can be very unsettling. Even for a seasoned professional like me, it can make your sphincter tighten up just a little bit.
Nothing makes my sphincter tighten up. Man, I've been eating. I had a bunch of Skyline the other night.
Oh, fuck. We're all screwed.
I tell you what, man. It's like when I go poop, because I have been on a diet. I know I'm still fat. I don't need you to remind me. But, fuck, when I break that shit, because I always want Skyline. Because it's like everything I don't usually eat all in one meal. Mm-hmm. So I'll fucking eat a shitload of it. And then, you gotta poop. And then when you upset your stomach, poops go differently. It's like, you remember the live action Casper with Christina Ricci? And is it Bill Pullman?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, when he's serving his uncle's breakfast and they're eating it and it's just going straight through and just flopping on the ground underneath them as they're eating it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of how I feel.
Right.
I'm gonna start calling my butthole the gallows when my stomach's upset, because it's like somebody just opened the trap door and it just fell through.
I'm trying to come up with a joke for that, but they're all shitty. See what I did there, people?
Dad jokes.
Well, as you like to explain, especially last night, I am old.
I had a good time last night.
It was a good time.
We pretty much just took over the conversation at that table.
Yeah, they didn't know what to do with us.
It was fun. I like doing that shit.
Yeah, we kind of probably made their night.
Oh, it was probably much more entertaining.
Oh, yes. All right, let's get back.
Than watching all the other drunk people. Then you had an intimate, close look at 2 drunk people.
First. It's kind of a shit show, another impromptu shit show with two people.
Oh yeah, dude. That would be great if we could fucking like just like mic up at the bar while we're drunk. Because it'd be a totally different thing at the bar.
Yes.
Because we're even more fucking stupid.
And yes, we can get more stupid.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Oh my god! And now we can. I didn't know she could make stickers and shit.
Oh, we're on it.
I need to scan that design in because I really like that design. I want that on a t-shirt or a hoodie.
The
one with the upside down cross.
Yeah.
I haven't liked the colors.
Was it green and black?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. I like it.
Like a teal color.
Yeah. All right. Okay, the activity did not stop with noises, slapping, and pillow throwing. A little pillow fight action.
Hey, Beelzebub, what are you going to do with them tonight? I'm going to throw the pillows. Oh, no, not the Hey, Lucifer. What? Beelzebub's pulling out the pillows. Oh, fuck. Oh, we got to go. We got to go tell Satan. It's going to get real up here.
The Bell Witch upped her game by shaking the entire house, or everyone to where everyone in the house could feel it. Now, this part of the country is not. I do not believe there's a major fault line anywhere near this. I mean, there are fault lines, but not fault
lines.
Around you, there are a lot of fault lines, but fault.
There's a lot of cave systems.
I've felt. We had an earthquake. About 10 years ago here?
The fuck was that?
Probably a cat fight. But we had an earthquake here about 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah. I slept through it.
It happened. No, it happened. We had one at like lunchtime because I was at home for lunch.
Oh, then we've had a couple. Well, that was probably more than 10 years. I think I was in high school when the one I slept through happened.
Right. And basically, I was watching television, and my chair just started. I was in a recliner, a rocking recliner, and my chair just started rocking for no reason. And this house was with activity. Mm-hmm. This is where I got doors open and shutting. I had the pillows and covers. All that shit happened at this house. So I'm thinking the ghost is fucking with me, moving my chair, because I knew I wasn't doing it. I just started rocking back and forth. Oh, cool. Okay, so we're back to work. And then on the radio, I heard there was an earthquake somewhere in there. So that could very easily explain, because I know Tennessee. I think that the earthquake I'm talking about was in Tennessee somewhere actually. So they felt more of it naturally. But an earthquake doesn't account in this scenario for the amount of times. You're not going to have that many. It's not fucking California.
Right.
Sure, there could be something to an earthquake once or twice, but if it happens repeatedly, it's a little bit.
If it happens repeatedly, that's the fucking
right.
That's the rift opening up, and the kaiju are going to start coming, and we need to start the Jaeger program to fight back.
That was on today.
That movie's so fucking cool.
I missed it. I caught the very end of it.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
The second one was alright.
It didn't have Jax in it, so I was not really fond of it.
What was his brother's name in the first one?
I don't remember.
It was something stupid because I remember him screaming it when he died. It was like Quincy or some shit.
Was Jax in the second one and not the? No, he wasn't.
There's a third one.
No, he wasn't in the second one. He was in the.
No, that was the second one. Was what was it? The kid that plays like the black kid from Star Wars. I don't know his character's name in Star Wars. The only black person I know in Star Wars is Mace Windu. Because I don't watch Star Wars.
I don't know. I just know the first one was on. Where was I at? Okay,
in Darth Vader's voice. What?
I was reading the comment. I think earthquake. Like I said, skeptics will say earthquakes, but yes, that could account for some of them.
Haters will say it's fake.
We'll say that would account for some of this activity, but it doesn't answer all the questions. Just a little bit. Now, naturally, the family really didn't advertise all the stuff going on, all the stuff that was going around in the home and the property. They did, however, bring in a family friend to the house to possibly help figure out what was going on. There was a neighbor and family friend named James Johnston.
Yeah.
And his wife were asked to come over and spend the night to experience the haunted activity. So apparently they obliged and spent the night. They did experience some stuff. The Bell Witch did not disappoint, and the experiences piqued James' interest, and he wanted to get some help to do a full-fledged paranormal investigation. So he went and got a bunch of people and came back and Zach Baggins it.
Which is odd to me, because you would think that they would be anti that shit back then. Because everything just automatically the devil all the time. It's still like that for religious people.
Well, it seemed like back then from this story, everything, they didn't automatically go to the demon. They went to the witch. Mm-hmm. Hence the name Bell Witch. Because this is just paranormal activity. This is just a haunting.
Yeah. I don't know. That one always blew me away with religious people. It's like Bigfoot, aliens, ghosts, all of it is the devil trying to hurt us and sway us. I'm like, God damn, you are really fucking self-centered, huh?
Right.
Like everything in the world has to somehow correlate to you. You dickhead. All right. Chill out, Kim K. Or Kanye.
Now, Mr. Johnston brought some people over, and their goal was to try to communicate with whatever was causing all the shiznit that was going on in this house. The group,
wow.
The group did.
That really showed both of our age. Shiznit.
Well, I'm old.
Or biznitch.
I never used that one. The group did have some success. Basically, they were trying to have a seance, basically. That's all it was.
That was early. I mean, seances were a thing, but man,
right.
They were ahead of the game as far as that shit taking off in the early 1900s.
All these people are a little bit ahead of the game.
With the talking boards.
Yeah,
which I always found, interesting thought. I love how Ouija boards really are just combinations of two different things. Because originally there was the talking board, and then the planchette itself was its own version of that.
Yeah, people use...
Because it would have one of the legs had a pencil on it, and it would write stuff out. Which really just seems like a better idea.
There's the pendulum. I mean, like we did in the Ouija board, or I did a Ouija board episode before.
We've done one. It's right there.
But I actually did another one explaining the history and stuff, which started back in I think it was China. They actually started the Ouija board back in the long time ago. I don't remember exactly what year. Now, the group here on the Bell Farm did have some success. They would get tapping type noises in response to their questions, which, is still used to this day. Mm-hmm. We still, bang on a wall. Can you repeat this? And you hope to get, right. Everybody's done it. Who's ever done a paranormal investigation? Guilty as charged. But just like the activity, that the Bell family encountered, things started to escalate with this group, with John or James and this group.
Which is traditional. I mean, usually when you go fucking poking for something, if it's really there, it's going to start to get pissed off.
Yeah.
Because if we're talking about something that wants to fuck with you, they tend to deal in the shadows.
Right. Now,
they don't want attention brought to them unless it's by the people they're fucking with.
I do not know how many times they investigated or whatever. I don't know if this was an escalation through the whole, just one session or whatever. But eventually it went from the tapping to more moans and groans.
That's what I'm talking about. You got to love some good moans and groans while you're tapping.
Yes. If you're tapping and not getting moans and groans.
Bad joke achieved.
We're good. Eventually, like I said, they were getting moans and groans. But the Bell Witch took it one step further. She actually started giving verbal responses to the team and actually speaking to them. The ghost would always respond in a woman's voice at first. However, it was reported that the ghost could...
And a long-winded motherfucker sometimes, too, for a spirit.
I got a quote here. But it could also mimic other people's voices.
Traditional.
Which is
that happens very often.
Which is not out of the ordinary.
I do that all the time. I'm like a parrot.
Yes, you do. Now, during the investigation, the Bell Witch told everyone why she was there and what she was going to do to the Bell family. And I quote, the witch said, "I am the spirit of someone once very happy but had been disturbed and made unhappy. I am the spirit who is buried in the woods nearby, and the grave has been disturbed. My bones have been disturbed and scattered. I've come to kill John Bell. I mean, that's a mouthful for
Yeah, that's like what.
I mean,
like,
you don't get
that's
that
so
shit on
long-
Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, like, do you think that they screamed the whole time they heard it? Because usually people like jump when they hear stuff, but you heard like a whole 3 sentences. What do you just? Ah,
Yes, that was a monologue by a spirit. I mean, that is the holy grail of Ghost Adventures.
Yeah,
Ghost
there's a
hunting.
reason why something like that's never been captured.
That is true. With the Native American history of the land, of course, there are graves, and there is probably there is a burial ground on.
Yeah, like what did John Bell do? Clearly, if this is true, he had some shady fucking dealings in those woods.
So this isn't a big revelation. Now things start to get interesting. This whole grave thing disturbed was not that far fetched. The Bell family that was a working farm of over 300 plus acres. So there was a lot of plowing going on. With all the
Jesus.
moans and groans, there's a lot of plowing.
Unacceptable.
And the farm hands were plowing a field one day, and some bones popped up. They went to John to tell
Yeah,
John.
but she said her body was in the woods. So now, who's the lying
I
piece
don't
of shit?
know. Hey, let's don't argue.
We're crossing some fucking streams here.
I know. The farmhands stopped working and went to tell John. John's son Drury overheard the conversation and went to the site with one of his friends. He found a jawbone, naturally took it home, and old daddy boy was not happy.
A human jawbone?
Yes, a human jawbone. John Sr. was all kinds of pissy and told Drury to take the jawbone back. Apparently this was not good enough, and this could be what got the ball rolling with the Bell Witch and why she was so pissy at Mr. John Bell, which she should have been pissy at Drury, just from the fact.
I don't understand people's obsession with taking fucking keeping human bones.
Right, and we'll kind of and
like you have to. People still do it. You have to be like licensed or not licensed, but you have to go through like a fucking rigmarole of paperwork to own a human skull.
Well, and I'll cover this a little bit, towards the end when we talk more modern day stuff about this location. The Bell Witch does not like people taking shit.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Now,
most hauntings and shit are like that.
It didn't take,
especially when it's their goddamn body parts.
Yes, it didn't take long for word to spread, and the Bell farm became pretty famous. People would often come and wanted to experience the Bell Witch for themselves. There was one story that that's very interesting to me. The story of the Bell Witch traveled to the East Coast, and some dude showed up claiming to be a witch hunter and said he could take care of the problem for them. The guy believed that this was a witch problem and he could use silver bullets to get rid of the Bell Witch.
How are you going to shoot something you can't see, dick knob?
Hey, you're preaching to the choir. He did stay for a few days, and the activity stopped. The Bell family thought this was awesome, and they offered to put the guy on the payroll and say, "Come live with us. If it'll make it stop, we'll put you on the payroll, and you can be our permanent in-house witch hunter."
Nice.
I mean,
excellent.
That's a hell of a gig if you can get it.
It's like being the Wizard of fucking New Zealand.
Yep. So the guy agreed to live there full time, but he had to go back and get some more witch hunting stuff.
Some witch shit.
Yes. As the story goes, when he went to leave the Bell farm, the Bell Witch showed him what he was in for. He climbed on the horse, but the horse would not move one step. Couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, I remember reading this.
Spurred it. No matter what he did, he could not get the horse to move. All of a sudden,
maybe the horse just had to take a shit.
No. All of a sudden, the witch climbed up and said, "I can make this horse move." And the horse went batshit crazy, started jumping, spinning around, and just took off running like, a funny Western. The guy was just flopping, screaming.
Now, do you think that when something like that happens to somebody on a horse, it instantly starts playing this fucking song from the old Chevy Silverado commercials? The Bob Seger song? Like a rock!
No, I do not think that happens, but it would be cool if it did. Sure enough, the horse took off and went crazy. Naturally, the witch hunter never...
There's a microphone there.
What?
I face bumped it.
Oh, that's all right. The witch hunter apparently was a bit of a candy ass and said, "Fuck it, I'm out," and never came back. Shocker. According to the family, the witch got a kick out of this and would often comment and even laugh about this situation to the family. At least the Bell Witch has a good sense of humor. I mean, at least she gets a kick out of herself. Kind of like we get a kick out of ourselves. We don't care if anybody else laughs. As long as we're laughing, who gives a fuck?
I know I keep looking at the fucking monitor and remembering that fucking stupid-ass comment on the fucking short they posted.
You're going to have to be...
When he was like, I thought the guy on the right had girl's lips, LOL. And I was like, good one. Oh, man. You're hilarious for a second grader. Fucking twat knocker. Actually, no, probably not. He's knocking his own man twat.
I don't know. I do not read those comments.
I do.
I only read the good ones.
Like, none of them are good anymore, man. Make funny... Bring back funny hate comments. Make hate comments great again.
I only read the compliments. I don't read the negative shit.
I love a good hate comment. They're just not. They have not been very good lately.
Like I said, I make, like you said, make us laugh. We are the most self-deprecating fucking podcast ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I've pretty much ruined any chance I have at getting laid because I sit here and talk about how small my dick is.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Do better.
Luckily, we're not like that once. We're not that famous, so not a lot of people have heard that.
I know. They're like, you're not. You sound so pompous. Yeah, that's kind of the point. That's what makes it a sarcastic joke.
Okay, where was I?
Derp, 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 derp.
Now, here's where we're going to get to the point you were talking about. There was even some stories of some famous people coming to the haunted farm. Future President Andrew Jackson was said to have brought a team to the Bell Farm, even with a... He brought a witch hunter. Apparently, witch hunters were pretty big back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the early 1800s. Now, there apparently was some sort of connection to Andrew Jackson and the Bell family. Apparently, the John Jr. had served under Andrew Jackson during the Battle of New Orleans. Jackson did have a witch hunter come, and apparently everybody knows witch hunters back in the 1800s were very popular, and we loved them. They were the psychic mediums of the 1800s.
Miss Cleo.
Every paranormal team had a witch hunter.
That's what I was going to say. Was Andrew Jackson like ye old Zach Bagans?
Yes.
Was he just rolling around like, I have heard of this witch that haunts a man and his family on their land. Gather the torches and the horses. We shall ride post haste to their location and assist them in their paranormal wanderings. Signed, Andy Jackson.
Now, it is said that the Jackson group, the Jackson Paranormal Team...
The Jackson 5.
Did have some experiences while they were there. And he was even quoted as saying, I'd much rather face the whole entire British Army than the Bell Witch. This is what he allegedly said. Now, some of the experiences I heard were before they even got there, when they were getting close, their wagon just stopped moving. They couldn't get the wheels to turn. Took them off, took it apart, worked fine, put them back on, could not get it to move. And apparently the Bell Witch was basically fucking with them, having fun with them. And I guess they had reported hearing the spirit say, I'll see you in a little bit, Mr. Jackson, or General Jackson. Because this was before he was president. This is, I believe, before he was president. Because why the fuck would a president go to...
Right. Why the fuck would he be there anyway?
Right. So, they did have a little bit of... Oh, they were doing, just like the Johnston group, they were kind of doing a seance, trying to make contact, and the witch hunter that he brought was kind of braggadocious. Started bragging about, he will kill the witch. He will take care of this problem. And apparently the witch said something to the effect, we'll see about that, and he fired his gun and missed. Of course he missed. You can't see a fucking ghost.
What did you fucking fire at?
Right. And apparently the Bell Witch did not like this and proceeded to beat the shit out of him. Smack him around a little, roughed him up, the old drag him on the floor kind of shit. And apparently this guy went off screaming.
Had cartoon sound effects on it and everything.
Yes. And the Batman, boom, kapow.
Whap. Zing.
apparently, the witch hunter said, "Fuck it, I'm out," and ran off like a little bitch. Which, if I got physically assaulted by a ghost, I guess I'd probably be a little whiny too, and take my leave.
Did you lose your place?
No. Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Everybody knows I'm the quiet one.
Yes. Everyone seemed to encounter the witch, but Betsy seemed to be the entity focused on the most. Well, Betsy and Lucy.
Betsy?
Seemed to be the most.
Okay, so when are we going to get to the point where we talk about the correlation, or the possible correlation with poltergeist activity and prepubescent girls?
I figure we'd get to that when we start talking about, give our opinions and everything.
I figured we had to at some point.
Oh, yeah, we have to.
Excuse you.
Yes. Betsy did seem to get the worst of it because, like I said earlier, she was getting slapped and kind of manhandled a little bit by the ghost or John, one of the two. Often the ghost would tie her hair in knots, and she even felt like she was being pricked by little pins from time to time. Eventually, Betsy would start having seizures. Now, let's be honest, in the early 1800s, late teens of 1800, I guess, because this has only lasted for about 5 years. And this, I think it stopped around 1821.
Yeah.
Having seizures is not uncommon. There's a medical issue, but the family, naturally blamed this on the witch, because medicine was not.
Well, it's just like they blamed everything on shit like that back in the day. Any illness, not any illness, but a lot of illness, mental illness, all that shit was the devil or the work of the devil or this spirit or fucking, I don't know, Julio's pissed off dead grandma that's like, I don't like where you put my ashes.
Right.
I fuck your life up.
Now, the witch wasn't all bad. Sometimes she would give life advice.
Pick a fucking side, lady.
When Betsy was older, she was engaged to her longtime childhood friend, Joshua Gardner. The witch wasn't a fan of Joshua and often told Betsy not to marry him and call off the engagement. Now, eventually, Betsy did break off the engagement before she, before.
Maybe the Bell Witch was just a jealous lover.
Right. But it was after, spoiler alert, John Bell dies.
No way.
Yes.
I thought he was, we were talking, it's 1817. I figured he was still kicking today.
Well, he dies. He actually dies, and then she calls off the engagement because Betsy feels that the entity or spirit or witch, whatever, killed John because she didn't listen. Which we'll get to John's death.
Yeah, but she said she wanted to kill John Bell already.
I know. But, kids are...
Which is the other thing. If John Bell, if the story about his son finding the human jawbone and bringing it home, and John Bell was like, put that shit back, you little fuck. Like, why would she want to kill John Bell?
Because she was a sexist. She hated men. She was a man-hater.
Back then, rightfully so.
Yes,
even today, depending on the man, rightfully so.
The Bell Witch was a whatever.
Literally had a fucking president that talked about grabbing women by the pussy. Yeah,
who hasn't said that?
Some of us are not. Some of us I can understand being hated from time to time, strictly for our maleness. Especially back then.
Travis the feminist.
Well, especially back then. The women couldn't vote. Like, they were basically a second-class citizen and fucking... I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eggs from the chicken coop. She did math, Father. We must hang her. She has done the witchcraft. Right. Fuck off, Jeremiah.
So I think we should I think we should get into John Bell's death now. This is really the come to Jesus moment for the family.
Bonjel.
This is when, basically, like I said, the spirit or witch was basically fulfilling the prophecy. Now,
her own prophecy.
Yes. Now, she did take her sweet old time to torture John every chance she got. It has been said that she would do things just to put him in pain. Sometimes John said it felt like a stick was in his mouth sideways, digging into his cheeks and even causing his tongue to swell and his cheeks to bleed. Or could that just be a ball gag? John was into some freaky shit.
I'm trying to correlate that to like something that could be like hashed out as something medical, like an infection of the mouth, potentially.
Very well.
Which, I mean, we all know that dental hygiene was not at its peak in the early 1800s.
Right. That's like what most of, like King Tut. He died young. A lot of people died young, and it wasn't anything odd. It was from, lack of dental care.
Mm-hmm.
Infections start and get in your blood system, and poof, you're dead.
Yeah.
That was the cancer of...
Well, King Tut was also fucking all fucked up anyway.
Was it? Yeah, he was
deformed.
Right.
From incest, I believe.
Well, yeah, because, they kept it in that bloodline needed to be pure.
Well, I mean, it's not just that bloodline. Bloodlines in general have been like that over the years.
Excuse me. But John Bell experienced a lot of pain. The Bell Witch was attacking him.
Pain without love, pain.
And basically causing him a lot of health problems. So basically, John became a hermit and rarely left the house and eventually became bedridden. John Jr. was pretty much had become his father's caretaker. He would give him his medicine. John's condition continually, gradually worsened, and one day he became unresponsive. John Jr. went to the medicine cabinet, and all of his medicine was gone, and the only thing that he could find was a strange vial of a dark liquid.
I'm going to be a spirit on the podcast now.
The whole family denied putting it there. Naturally, the Bell Witch finished what she had started. She had poisoned John Bell, and she even said so. She told them, "I poisoned him."
With what? Ergot?
No, I never could find what the official poison was, but it was just a dark liquid. There was a doctor. John Jr.
Delicious.
John Jr. had
It was Vegemite. With shit they eat down under.
John Jr. had a doctor come. When the doctor arrived to check on John, the witch said she had given it to him while he slept the night before, and she said she fixed him. Afterwards, the doctor checked John's breath, and he could smell what the vial was, and it was on John Sr.'s breath. John Bell died the next day on December 20th, 1820. Now, after John's death, the witch did not come around nearly as often, but she did speak to John Jr. every once in a while. So I guess she had accomplished her goal and kind of went her way a little bit, but still popped in from time to time just to check on the family.
Bitch, bye.
Now, according to legend,
Bell Witch out.
According to legend, we do know a few things about the Bell Witch. Like, she could impersonate other people's voices. She was not stationary. She could move to other places, and even told the family she would go with them wherever they would go. And I guess there were reports of the Bell Witch making appearances on Sunday church services from time to time. She would start singing strange hymns. So apparently she could go into a holy place. Right.
We're breaking traditions here.
Now, there are many experts that believe the Bell Witch wasn't just one entity. It was more likely the location was being haunted by many spirits. One psychic medium during an investigation claimed that there were over 100 spirits in and around the house, or that on the land, which burial ground, more likely than...
Yeah, but like... Everybody talks about burial grounds or even just like single burial places.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I would imagine that a vast majority of the land, period, has human or something other like similar remains at some depth underneath it.
I agree.
Like, it's just kind of mathematical.
And I've said
the mathematical deduction, if you will. I don't know if that's the right term.
I've never thought that like graveyards are a great place to paranormal investigate or ghost hunt. Why would a ghost be there? If you die and you have free reign of the spirit world, why would you hang out at the place you died? And you did not.
Well, I mean, they do. Some people say that like you get tethered to it or some shit.
But your soul left your body, and you became your spirit, whatever, left your body before it was at the graveyard.
Yeah,
it could have been 5, 6, 7 days prior. So why would it hang out? If I'm at a grave, when I pass away, for one, I'm not going to be at a graveyard. I'm going to be torched. My ashes spread over something. Don't care what. I don't give a fuck if I'm in the trash.
A Little Caesars hot and ready.
Are you making fun of my dinner this evening?
Or no, we'll upgrade it since it's a funeral. Instead of the hot and ready, it'll be an extra bestest.
Here's what's going to happen when I die. I'm going to be cremated. Travis is going to continue the podcast on, and he's going to set me the urn right here and put the mic in front of it.
Yes. Coming up in about 6 months.
Hell, it could be next week. Who the fuck knows? Where was I at? Okay, what else? So we got all that shit. Apparently, the Bell Witch herself was psychic. After John's death, she had communicated.
Well, would it be psychic or just like omnipotent?
That's a good point. I mean, she is all knowing. You think,
right? Like she's a fucking spirit. How are we? We can't. You can't really put like our terminology and thought process from our realm onto them.
You would think the spirit world would have a little extra access to some.
Yeah, you would hope that they have that ability, at least to an extent.
According to John Jr., she came to him and predicted many.
What do you think? Sound off down in the comments below.
She predicted and was correct about many things that would happen in the future to John Jr. One being the Civil War, World War I, the Great Depression, and World War II.
Yeah.
Now, according to John...
So she's Nostradamus now, too?
Yeah, she is channeling... Her and Nostradamus were kind of tight in the spirit world.
They got drunk together.
She did say that the world would end in fire.
Well,
I mean, that's not a way to go out on a big fucking limb there.
Right.
Let's face it. That's how the world's going to end. Either nuclear explosion or asteroid.
Or the sun exploding.
Yes, which is one hell of a big fire.
Mm.
Somebody will TikTok it and live stream it.
Interesting thought.
What?
How does the sun continue to burn if there's no oxygen in space?
I told you last night we're going to do a flat Earth. Maybe we'll do a flat Earth.
It's just a big old light bulb.
I don't know. What else? I think that's all that I remember she actually predicted. Now, let's go into what was the Bell Witch. Naturally, we can go with some pissed off Native American spirit, but let's be honest, this has been played out and overdone. Native Americans, God love them, I think get too much credit in the paranormal world. Because I think
it's just such an easy thing to like dump it off on that being the cause of stuff.
Like you said, there are probably dead bodies.
And because it's so accepted too, like, you know what I mean? But I mean, I'm sure it's like that everywhere if you think about it, because the Native Americans here are basically just like pagans in Europe and shit like that. And most of this stuff is like, just depending on regionally, it's just given a different name, but they're all the native people of that land or the people that were there before us.
Yes. But I think that's just too easy. Yes, there could be.
It's all That's why I think that's why it happens so often. Right. Is because it's just such a simple.
And let's be a little honest here.
God damn it!
This is the original white guilt. Before us white people screwed over the African American people and put them in enslavement, we screwed over the Native Americans.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we killed more Native American people than Jewish people died in the Holocaust.
We wiped them out. Just smallpox wiped them. We brought it all over those.
My wife made you a blanket. Not falling for that one again.
But I think this could be.
What if that's like in poor taste? A gift if you're a I don't know, what would you call them? Like First Nation, I guess would be a better name.
I think that's what.
I remember people being like, I don't understand why Native Americans not good, because they're not Native Americans. They're just the native people.
Right.
And even then, they're really not, because realistically, they came over on, like, their ancestors came over here on the land bridge before the Bering Strait was submerged into the water.
According, apparently my great-grandmother was full blood. I have Native American blood running through me.
Yeah.
According to my mother, that my great-grandmother...
Do you feel like a white girl at Starbucks right now saying that?
Kind of a little. I feel like, what was that one politician that said she was Native American?
Oh.
Was it
was it Rachel Doziel, or was that the lady that worked for the NAACP?
I don't know. But apparently, my grandmother was.
Well, yeah, because that lady, they found out she was like 1,064th. Like, she was like the amount of Native American that like every human being naturally is at this point, or something like that, or every American.
Well, maybe I'm gonna have to do that DNA test and get proof and get my own casino. But I don't know. We'll see. Where was I?
We'll remake that commercial where that Italian guy played a Native American and cried on the side of the road.
Oh yeah. Was he Italian or Spanish?
I think he was Italian. Pretty sure. I was like, Jesus Christ, you guys can't even give him that. You're going to use the Native American people as like leverage for littering, and you're not even going to cast a fucking Cherokee guy or a Navajo guy. You're going to give it to a goddamn Italian. Some dude named Sergio. My name is Sergio Barefoot. How you doing? No, the fuck it's not. Your name is Sergio Linguini. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, now, getting back to what was the Bell Witch, there's always the good old faithful demons.
Demon.
Which, very well could be. Maybe it is the devil. Maybe
it's a little petty to be a demon.
Right. Many people believe that it was an actual person. John Bell was no saint himself. He was a bit of a dick. I believe he was even excommunicated from his church because of some shady dealings. But no rich man gets rich unclean.
Yeah, but how shady can a dealing be in the eyes of a church?
Well, apparently it had something to do with slaves. He loaned out a slave to somebody and was raking this guy over the coals with taxes, charging him out the butt, and apparently. But
I'd imagine that was a pretty rampant occasion back then.
Now, one of those people that had a beef with old John was a woman by the name of Kate Batts. And many people believe that Kate Batts was the Bell Witch. Apparently, Kate Batts, and John Bell, they were distant relatives. I believe Kate was like Lucy's niece or second niece or something. She was related to John via marriage, but in some way, shape, or form. But apparently, she was pissed off at John about he screwed her over on some land deal, or the Batts family over on some land deal.
Or he was fucking her but didn't marry her.
Maybe. Now, since the Bell Witch often went by the name Kate, she would respond to Kate. Many people believe that Kate Batts was...
I mean, yeah, like... that she would respond to Kate. No, it was like... Bell Witch, Kate, are you there? They call me Katie. That's not my name.
But... there is a problem with this Kate Batts being the Bell Witch. First, she was alive during this time.
I was going to say, was she like physically manipulating things around their house?
Well, she was alive, but not saying that she wasn't behind it. Could she be an actual witch? Which, let's be honest, witches, obviously with all the
witches be crazy.
There was a reason for all these witch
Did you just put a drop down on the screen?
No, I didn't do shit.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
maybe it was just a notification. Never mind. Go ahead.
I
looked over and something moved on my phone.
But she could have been a witch and causing all this activity. Or she just could be doing it outright, I guess. No supernatural shit involved at all.
I'd imagine
she was outside tapping on the fucking window.
I feel like it'd be pretty easy to get away with back then.
Yeah. But there was never any proof of her being the Bell Witch, and she even blatantly denied it. It was probably just, these people's overactive imagination and wanting to believe it was a witch or something.
You know who else would deny it? The person that fucking did it.
Right. That's why there's a lot of innocent people on death row.
There's got to be a couple.
Not because of shitty prosecutors and defense attorneys.
Fucking Jerry Driver.
Okay, today's
you fucking human trash bag, you.
Now, today, people still go to the Adams, Tennessee area to experience the Bell Witch. It's a big tourist spot, basically, and they have capitalized on this.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job of keeping that fucker standing.
Yeah, they actually moved there's only one building left from the farm, I believe, and it's not even the Bell house. It's a log cabin from the farm. I think it was a farmhand's house. They've moved it off the property and moved it. There's actually the Bell School, I think, and they moved it on that property. It's kind of like a museum type thing. But that's the only structure that's still standing from that day. Man-made.
Right.
Like I said, people go there. Now some people believe that after the Bell Witch killed John, she retreated to the cave that was nearby.
Mm-hmm. I remember saying that because I didn't like research this for this episode, but I have
looked into
seen shit about it.
And that is a big tourist spot right now. It's privately owned. The cave, right. But people, even to this day, are experiencing things like it's been subject of many paranormal reality shows. Like I said, Ghost Adventures, I believe, did an episode there. People have...
At the cave?
Yeah, at the cave.
Huh. That would be such a motherfucker to investigate.
I think it was early on.
I'm going to look it up. But that would be such a... Yeah, I have Discovery Plus. But that would be such a motherfucker to investigate a cave.
Right, but they have it. Well, they have electricity. They have lights. Right.
Not even that. Like, just the environment that it is in general.
And
you're going to get so much noise pollution from there.
Now, people have caught a lot of weird photographs. People in,
that's a cave.
Ghost phantoms in the pictures and shit.
Ghost phantoms?
Whatever that. The phantoms that weren't,
of the opera.
God, you're such a prick.
The Phantoms, the movie.
Right. Ghost specters
specters
in the photographs that weren't there when they took it. Whatever.
Spectres.
Yes. They have caught strange EVPs and heard disembodied voices and have had electrical issues. People have reported...
It's a fucking cave.
People have reported being in there and have the lights go out. I don't know. Maybe the owner's up there with hitting the light switch. I don't fucking know.
Or maybe it's on a timer. Or maybe it's a fucking cave and it just happens.
But all the activity that's being reported now is nothing like what was reported in the Bell family or happened to the Bell family. It's nothing that extreme. It's kind of wishy-washy.
Benign, if you will.
It's normal paranormal shit.
Shit that you would kind of, like, if you're anybody like us that believes in this shit, the kind of shit that you could potentially catch anywhere at any time if you're just there at the right time.
Exactly. Now, there are still Bell descendants living in Adams, Tennessee, and they do still have some paranormal things happen to them from time to time. And they don't live on the property. The property's been sold, but they still live in town. It's a real small town. Whatever, like 2,000-3,000 people. Probably not even that many people. Everything we know about the Bell Witch, this is where things get, in the beginning of the podcast, we kind of said story.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we know about the Bell Witch is based on a book called An Authentic History from the Famous Bell Witch. Now, there's been many other books written on this topic, but it was written in the 1890s by a man by the name of Martin Van Buren Ingram. Now, this book was based on the diary of Richard Bell, the youngest son.
Yeah.
He was approximately 6, I believe, when...
Oh, yeah, let's take this kid's word as God when he's 6 years old.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard a 6-year-old tell a story from the playground?
Right. I think when it first...
I was playing basketball with Jimmy, and then Rebecca was on the jungle gym, and then Jimmy had to tie his shoe, but Rebecca doesn't know how to tie her shoe. She's stupid, and nobody likes her. She smells bad. And then the teacher said it was time to go inside, but I forgot my basketball, and I had to go. Like, what the fuck are we... Don't fucking listen to 6-year-old fucking kids when you're trying to write a book about anything.
Right.
Unless it's just being a 6-year-old kid.
Like I said earlier, The time frame that I was talking about, most of the activity started, was between 1817 and 1821. So a 4-year period.
Mm-hmm.
So Richard was approximately 6 when it started, so from 6 to 10 years old. And he went back and wrote this diary. It wasn't like he was at 6 years old writing a fucking diary. He was recalling this later on in his life, writing a diary about the experiences that he experienced. Many skeptics think that Ingram took... Oh, and I should... Like I said, it was based... Somehow Ingram got a hold of this book, or this diary. Now, according to Ingram, if I'm not mistaken, Richard gave it to him, and he said the only stipulation was he could not publish it until after... He could write his book, but he couldn't publish it until after all the first generation... Everybody was gone.
Mm-hmm.
From the first... the generation that experienced it, like himself, Richard himself. Many skeptics believe Ingram took many liberties and built up this legend. And there is some people that believe that that actual diary did not even exist. I don't think anybody's ever actually seen the diary. So this all...
Now, did Drury have a diary?
I don't know. I did not.
Drury.
Right. So this whole story could just be something made up by this Ingram character.
Some would probably say, so.
Well, we'll kind of get into it a little bit, but let me ask this question. Did this haunting actually happen the way that it has been portrayed in the book and all the documentaries and all the stories that are circulating?
I think there's been film about
this. Right. Yeah, there's actual film made. Or
was the movie Witch about the Bell Witch?
I do not know that. I don't know. But, or is this just a case of an urban legend growing over time?
Just like a lot of shit is.
It basically has taken on a life of its own and has reached mythical proportions.
Mythical.
Big words, I know. Damn, I'm good.
That's 3 syllables. So is syllable.
Now we're going to get into the opinion part of this episode. Like I said, there is so much fucking information on this. I just kind of highlighted it because I did not want to make this a 2-parter.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think? What do you think about the Bell Witch? Fact, fiction, or is it even more scary or more haunted?
Because I'll give this one thing is like, for instance, Andrew Jackson's involvement is actually like can be corroborated with like paperwork and shit like that.
You would think.
No, like it can.
Oh, I heard that there was no evidence.
I thought there was like travel logs or like letters or something shared between him and like the military or some shit like that.
I watched one documentary about this that said that actually covered it.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy said there's, you would think there would be some.
Oh, maybe there wasn't at all.
But
you dove further into this than me.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like anything else.
Well, than I ever.
This was a skeptic saying this as well. So skeptics are just as biased as.
I mean, I'm very
believers.
skeptical of this anyway. The time period.
Do you think it even happened at all? Do you think any of this is true? Do you even think there was something haunting the Bell family?
Well, like seeing the weird animals is probably you can especially back then you can kind of automatically chalk up as bullshit.
Right, like I said, people, your mind,
because you're just seeing an animal you've never seen before. You're doing a piss poor job of fucking explaining what it looked like,
or you're scared and you're seeing
bad lighting, whatever.
Right. That can be explained away.
The tapping on the window could be so many things.
A tree branch in the wind.
Hearing the scratching and the clawing in the house could be
rodents,
dozens of things.
Right. It's all very explainable.
Yeah, like I'm not like I never once did you hear about a physical appearance or apparition of the witch.
Well, there actually is one story that I didn't cover. I forget the guy's name. He did come in and wanted to get rid. I think it was a family friend, or it might have been a son-in-law. And he was talking smack to the, he was provoking, and I guess the Bell Witch did show herself to him, and he tried to capture it and throw her in the fire. There is that story, which, like I said, I didn't cover all the stories. But the Bell Witch did, according to legend, did manifest to certain people. Most times it was more verbal audio. It was not, she didn't manifest that much, but she did manifest a lot of times people say that some of these cryptids, these dogs, that was her. But
which then conveniently lends into the demon aspect of it, because anybody that knows anything about all this shit or follows any of this shit, they say that demons appear to us as animals more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, it's convenient.
Yeah.
Very
it's
convenient.
all convenient.
You know, if
it happened in a remote area where there wasn't a bunch of people around, there was a person with a famous name involved.
Several. I mean, I believe there's some other famous people, if I'm not mistaken, that I left out. But
yeah,
Andrew Jackson. This is a man that war hero basically, and future president.
Yeah,
kind of a big fucking deal.
Wasn't he kind of a war criminal as well?
Let's be honest, aren't all generals war criminals to a certain extent?
Probably. Got to break a couple eggs, make an omelet.
Hey, got to burn down a few towns.
Shoot some children.
You got to do what you got to do. Personally, I think this story
is just that.
I'm not doubting there might have been some paranormal activity going. The Bell family might have experienced some weird stuff.
But I don't think it was a fucking witch.
Not to the extent that we are being told or the legend grew to. This is one of those things.
Well, it's like I said earlier.
The legend grew.
We're talking about people in a time period where there was less understanding of the world and things around us. Right. A lot of shit was blamed on evil or something against God, or is this or that or the other. Like, a lot of shit.
I mean, it's
like seizures, fucking schizophrenia, getting sick, so much of it.
Now, there are some people that would say, of course it happened, because people are still experiencing. I know she's got some issues going on today.
That was a good one.
People are still experiencing stuff today in this location or around this town or whatever. But just to play devil's advocate on that, the story has grown so much. People go there to experience it. And if you go there looking, you will find it. Your brain will trick you into thinking you're seeing something or having an experience. That is very common with paranormal investigators.
And do we know anything about the geology around this place and shit? Do we know if maybe there's some type of massive
magnetic field?
I was going to say magnetic anomaly underground or something like that.
That I do not know. That's
all potential things.
Just like Skinwalker Ranch. That is a high EMF area.
Yeah, just like fucking that idiot L. Ron Hubbard, who engaged as the Navy said, well-known magnetic anomaly in the Pacific Ocean for 68 hours.
Wasn't fucking
thinking
around.
It was a U-boat.
Yeah, but I personally, I
think we should do a Scientology.
Oh God, I will think about it.
It'd be like a 3 or 4 part episode. There's a lot.
Oh, there's a lot.
Because that fucking guy from the Hermetic Order of Thelema or whatever the fuck, the Aleister Crowley thing, his number 2 is involved in that too.
Gregory makes a good point. Well, it's kind of what I was alluding to. Gregory stated in the chat that the story has been said so many times, it created kind of like a tulpa.
Mm-hmm.
We have kind of created it. The story created itself, and now it is real, which is kind of what I was referring to when there probably was some kind of activity, but the story and legend has grown so much. All that energy has fed into it. Has fed into it, and when you go there, that extra energy and plus your own mind, you're going to find it.
And that's because that's one of the things with the Tulpa effect that gets a little more interesting is, I think people have a vague misunderstanding of our brain and how it works. First off, with we only utilize blah, blah, blah. That's not true. We do not utilize 10% of our brain or whatever they say. That's not fucking true.
No, we use it all, but
it just depends on the time. We don't use all of it all at the same time.
Yes. It's just, what is it? I saw this somewhere. We use it all, but at any given time, we might only use,
Yeah,
right.
like at one moment.
The movie Lucy is not
right.
real. It's not real.
It's bullshit. But still, I think I can say with confidence, we don't really know the full extent of the ability of our brain.
Absolutely. I think
so. I mean, yeah, people very well could be manifesting this shit with their own willpower and mind power, and that's just what the fuck is going on.
And getting back to, this is where I want to talk a little bit about what you brought up.
Porn?
Kind of.
Penis.
No, what you talked about earlier, the poltergeist activity.
With prepubescent girls,
right.
And there just happened to be two that were close to the same age in the same house.
Right. Betsy.
And for all we know, by the time those girls were born or getting to be in the pubescent or prepubescent stages of their life, their mom may have also been hitting the point where she was menopausal.
Right. And there might be something to the fact, now I'm not accusing John Bell of anything, but there could be some
sexual assault and stuff,
possibly, which would even
that's the first thing I thought of when I heard about this.
Or not even John Bell, maybe one of the brothers, like we got a Fred West kind of thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
That,
I mean, one of them's name is Drury.
I'm not accusing anybody, so I don't need Bell descendants getting all pissy with me, but that could definitely spark a poltergeist activity in the victim.
Mm-hmm.
And because a lot of this, like the house shaking, very poltergeist-esque.
Or it could, if it's coming from the lips of the kids, it could just be their mental block of what may or may not have been happening to them within that household.
Right. Or there could be no sexual assault. It'd just be a bored teenage girl or prepubescent girl bored out of her mind.
It's just like, what was it? The Haunting of Hill House. Have you seen that?
Don't think so. No.
That the whole thing. There's this bad man and ghost and da da da. No, it's the fucking kids getting sexually assaulted. His mind is broken because he's young and he shouldn't and doesn't know how to deal with things like that. So it's kind of morphing itself into something else entirely in his mind.
You're right.
Or in her mind. I can't remember if it was a girl or a boy, but who knows? Somebody ask Andrew Jackson. You got a 10?
I seriously doubt.
No, that's Andrew Hamilton. Is Jackson on it, Bill? No.
Yeah, I think he's on. Is he on the 20?
It is Jackson, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Jackson's on the 20. I don't know. I'm support. It's been so long since I've seen a $20 bill. You got a 20?
I think I have almost every denomination up to 20.
Make it rain up in this bitch.
Washington's on the 1s. We know that.
Lincoln's on the 5.
Lincoln's on the 5. This is definitely. That's Alexander Hamilton.
On the 10.
Yeah.
Jackson's on the 20.
You're telling me that this man was an effective witch hunter? Look at him.
Yeah, I am. He was the first Zach Baggins.
And where's the ghost of Andrew Jackson? There it is. The ghost of Andrew Jackson.
Huh. Now, if I'm,
Don't mind my insurmountable amount of money that I've just pulled out of my wallet.
It's good to be a podcaster, baby. It's good to be a podcaster.
It's like fucking like $42. Like,
but I don't know if this is actual real. I think there's probably, the Bell family probably did experience something, but I don't know what. I don't think it was to the extent of.
I mean, and like it could have been like,
maybe it could have been, but I don't know.
Everything could be brought into argument for shit like this. It could be a money grab because like stuff like this brings in fucking, where there's attention, you can make money.
That's the whole book with Mr. Ingram.
With Mr. Who?
Ingram Martin.
Oh, okay.
Who wrote the book off the journal of Richard. It could have been, he just built this up just to make some money.
Excuse me.
I don't know. If any Bell,
which is very common.
If any of the Bell descendants hear this and want to come on the podcast, please.
Oh, by all means. Because I'm not...
GIATM podcast at gmail.com.
Or Ghost of the Night podcast at gmail.com. We've got two.
Yeah, but I don't... That's
the one I have.
Well, that gets a lot of spam.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's the one I use for all the shit. So it gets given out by all the... it makes a list for private information that's given to all these companies. But, however, I don't know. Maybe something is going on there, which would not surprise me. But I'm okay with this just being complete bullshit, a fabricated story altogether. I don't think so. If I had to put money on it, I would say at least there is some kind of activity going on there. But who knows?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be something. No matter what, there's some type of level of bullshit to it.
Right. That's really all I have on the Bell Witch. I don't
know.
That's a fascinating story. Great story, really.
But really, as far as I'm concerned, that's really all it is. That's why, at least, if nothing else, at this point, that's all it is.
Maybe one day we'll get down there and check it out for ourselves.
It's not that far away.
No. I think you pass it going to Nashville.
I want to say, was it probably like maybe 6 hours?
If that, yeah. I mean, it's a good ghost time story.
Yeah.
It's a good story. Makes for good... Gives us something to talk about.
So that's why I wonder, like, if we deep dive the internet, I feel like every, like, time zone, there's probably something... There's one of these. He's already sitting.
So... I think that's... I mean, I have nothing else. We can shoot the shit with the chatters for a while. I think... You know what really pisses me off?
What?
We got more viewers on our
fuck off
session. We did nothing.
I plan on doing it again.
I mean...
Like, I might do it...
whatever.
I'm trying to think of, like, maybe... It would be Tuesday... Sometime between Tuesday and Thursday night.
So look for us then. Now, if you're listening to this, just go to Ghost of the Night or YouTube/Ghost of the Night and subscribe.
And hit the notification bell, and then you can see me sit and talk shit to Phil while I fucking edit clips. Yes. Apparently people don't hate seeing stuff like that.
Right. Now we'll work on trying to get the driver to where you can hear what's on the plane. I'll work on that. But it's good.
It's good.
Next week, I think we're going to do the Suicide Forest.
Is that next week?
Yeah, that's what we scheduled for next week.
Whose episode is that?
I think that's one we're both going to do. I mean, we'll both kind of...
Because, I mean, a lot of that's just stories.
Yeah, we'll both pick some stories, share some stories.
I'll just get here early enough that we can fucking cross out each other's shit where we
or we
overlap. And then what is it? After that, I got BTK.
BTK.
And then after that, I got Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, and that's as far as we've got planned out.
I mean, we've got topics. We just need to figure out what we're going to do when. Because there's even more that I want to fucking add to those now.
Yeah. But, I mean, this...
Oh, like the Vampire of Dusseldorf. Peter Curtin is a serial killer.
Sweet. Vampire serial killers. I like it.
It's pretty... It's kind of dark. It has its dark moments as far as, like, choice of victims sometimes.
Yeah. But, I mean, this
So you don't hear about them very often.
I mean, I like that because it covers everything that
or like
do.
Gary Ridgway.
Yeah. Let's see, what's Gregory having to say? Do you guys think there is a top effect with the Bell Witch? Oh, wait, hold on,
If there's something going on there, that's most of what it is.
I think... Oh, did you just shit on me? I did. Gregory, I think you're pretty...
I just let it talk.
I think it's very possible that all the energy has been put into, over time has created a little residual type activity going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Or
it's 100% got something to do with anything that happens there at this point. Right. Because it's like we said earlier, you're going into the situation expecting or wanting to see this or that. So, yeah, your mind is going to you're going to be more apt to see or hear something because you think you're going to hear it, see, not even think, like you not only think, but you're going to hope that you're going to see or hear something. So your mind's going to put it, it's going to fucking control P something in there.
Right. I mean, that's just as good reason as any.
It's just as likely as there actually being a fucking spirit of a witch rolling around there.
I'm just pretty sure it's not what the story is.
No, probably not.
The story has been blown up and retold over 202 years when it finally finished. 201 years. You know, the story has been retold and has been changed and has been tweaked here and there, just exaggerated.
Yeah, it's just like people still think Christopher Columbus was a good person.
Which he wasn't, but that's beside.
He was a good explorer.
Not really.
He was a good explorer of unwilling bodies.
I mean, didn't he, instead of finding the New World, he found the Caribbean? Would you quit shit?
He was trying to get to India.
Right, that's right. He's trying to get to India.
No, that might have been fucking Chalupa.
No, I think that was you.
Yeah, it's got a little,
all right,
get a little movement to it.
Now, like I said, next week we're doing the Suicide Forest in Japan, which is very fascinating. Which, you know, I'm sure I haven't looked into a lot of stories, but I'm sure that is ripe for paranormal activity. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's a shit ton of stories.
Well, I haven't thought about it. I was like, when push comes to shove, we'll know by the beginning of the middle of the week if we're gonna get a good length episode out of it.
Right.
So I was thinking anything we don't fucking hit like our normal, what we want to hit. Let's just fucking making Patreon episodes.
Right. But speaking of that, if you want to get some bonus content, go to patreon.com/GITM podcast. That is where we put all the bonus material for a small, I think it's only $2. Get you all the bonus content. It gets some investigation stuff that I've done in the past. And we are also doing some content just for you guys. I have started, I think this week I posted 2 little short videos from our shorts that we are doing, kind of giving everybody a preview, and some shorts that only are available on Patreon. They don't make the YouTube or TikTok cut. We save them for the Patreon people.
Sometimes they're a little edgy.
Yeah, we keep those. So if you want, like I said, go to patreon.com/GITM podcast. That is where you can find us on there. If you want to support us, that's a great way to do it. Don't forget to follow us on all the social medias. Instagram's really probably the best at ghost_night_podcast. Twitter at night_ghost. And on Facebook at Ghost in the Night. Also, you can find us on TikTok at GITN.podcast. That's where we're putting some of the shorts. Between there and YouTube, we're doing the shorts. We do post some of them on the other social media accounts, but that is the best way to kind of get a hold of us and see what we got going on. Plus, with our schedule being off a little bit with Travis's hours, you will find out exactly when we're going to go live. I think I posted something on Facebook, Facebook and Twitter, letting people know exactly what time.
Which I was still late for.
Yes, but I was on time. I was only about 5 minutes late. Because after I got confirmation you're on your way, I went ahead and went live.
I mean, shit, just the fact that I'm pulling it off in general is still amazing to me.
But those are really the best ways to get a hold of us and stay in touch with us and find out what the hell we are up to. Other than that, generally we're either Sunday or Monday for the live. Like we spoke about earlier, we are going to try to do just a random BS session, kind of behind the scenes, look at what we do, making those shorts, and we live streamed that for you guys. We did that last week for the first time. It might be both of us. It might just be one of us. Or I might even come on sometime just to kind of talk about what we're doing for the following week and share my research with you guys a little bit. Oh, speaking of, Gregory agrees with you. Jerry Driver's a douchebag.
He's a fucking cockwaffle.
Speaking of Jerry Driver,
did he die?
No.
Good.
There is apparently. I have got to look into this. Apparently, there is some West Memphis 3 breaking news.
Yes.
Apparently, Damien Eccles has sued the state, I believe, to try to get some of that. There's some new DNA methods they want to test. and I might come back earlier in the week, or maybe when you come over, we'll kind of talk about that a little bit. I'll look into it a little bit. The dog is screaming. Obviously, the dog has to go take a piss. Hey, you're ruining the podcast.
She's probably hungry.
Shouldn't be. Jeez. Probably got a shit. But that is really, I'm sorry. That's probably what, I might mention that when you come over, or if you come over to do that behind the scenes. We might talk a little bit about that. So, I got to go feed the dog. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the live stream. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast player, join us at Ghost of the Night /GITN. Or no, I'm sorry, /Ghost of the Night on YouTube. YouTube.com/Ghost of the Night.
Possibly some merch coming up, like we talked about.
We are working on that.
If you are
some new merch.
Listen, you fuckos.
Fuckos.
You fucking cock goblins. If you are a loyal listener to us, get at me on Instagram. Well, actually, don't get at me yet. I'll tell you for sure. But I might end up DMing with people who are loyal listeners on here on Instagram, because if I can make it work where we can get stickers with a QR code, I'm going to get a shitload of them, and I will send a bunch of them to the loyal listeners wherever they are, as long as it's not overseas, preferably, because that shit's expensive.
That's expensive.
So that you can start slapping QR codes around. Because as always, we like to have eyes and ears coming in, new people, new opinions, new thoughts, new people that might not even know dick balls about what we talk about, which is why you need to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Listen to us on your favorite podcast streaming app, and don't forget to leave us a review. Hopefully it's 5 stars. If it's not, be funny at least.
Bring your A game, bitches. Bring your A game. All right. I think that's going to do it. We thank you, like I said earlier. We love you all, you guys who take the time out of your busy schedule to listen to us talk shit about the paranormal and true crime. We appreciate each and every person that joins us for the live streams, and especially the ones who talk in the chat. We love you guys. You make it fun for us, and we will see you next week for sure, and possibly early in the week, so be on the lookout for
probably later on this week, because I know one day I don't have a day off again, but I have like a half day one day.
Be on the lookout for another behind the scenes look of the making of Ghost of the Night.
I might look into Twitch, because then we can play music.
Yeah, we might switch it over a little bit. So we'll see you at least next week, possibly early in the week for you guys. So we love you, and we will see you. Take care, everybody.
So Gregory's getting stickers if we get some.
He's on it, baby. He's on it. That's why we love it.
Yes, Napoleon, give me some of your tots.
We might not be famous, but we have some great loyal listeners.
Hey,
wonderful.
Man. What do you think I'm going to do with those stickers? I'm going to literally stick them everywhere I go.
There you go, baby. All right. We'll see you next week, or maybe early in the week, whatever. We'll see you. Take care.
We will be here, and you will be here, and we will be together.
We're out.
Bye.